Hi, everybody. Before we jump into this episode, I wanted to let you know something super exciting. This year, in July 2025, I am running an intimate in-person retreat, 45 minutes out of Paris. You heard that right, in France. And I want you with us. It's a 4-night, 5-day experience where we'll be blending a true fusion of personal development through the lens of human design and the gene keys, as well as unleashing your next level self so that you'll leave this retreat on purpose with a clear plan to create the success that you are absolutely destined for. I will be in your energy. We'll be hanging out for 5 full days. We'll be heading to Paris. Oh my goodness, we're going to have so much fun. I can't do it justice here and now, but go to the show notes, check out all of the details, send me a DM or an email if you'd like to get in. And I encourage you to do it quickly because we have a special $500 off for early bird and it expires on the 31st of March, which is just a few short days away as I record this. I so hope to see you in France. Now let's get into the episode. Hi. Welcome to the Human Design for Marketing podcast. I'm your host, Yvette Mayer, and this show's for you if you're done with cookie cutter marketing and ready to build your personal brand in alignment with who you really are. Let's dive in. Hi, welcome back to the Human Design podcast with Yvette Mayer. That's me. And in this episode, I have been feeling called into doing something quite different with you. And it comes off the back of a client who booked in a human design for marketing reading this week. She was an amazing energy. I had the best conversation with her. It was such an epic call. One thing that happened was we started talking about alignment and knowing when she's doing it right as a projector. And I found myself speaking without a whole lot of gap between the thought and what I was saying. And the words that were flowing out of me, they felt really channeled, like I wasn't all that conscious, and they were so eloquent and meaningful and impactful. And part of me was like, wow, I should really go back. And because I, do everything in Zoom, I should go back and cut out that piece because I think it would be so helpful to other projectors. And then I had a bigger idea, which was how about I open myself up for guidance, which I have done before this episode, smelling a beautiful candle to heighten my intuition, having some very loose thoughts about what I want to talk about, but no prep, no notes, like nothing hardcore. And speaking to this topic, so actually speaking to you about how do you know, based on your human design type, if you're getting it right with your marketing, and how can you get it more right? Like, how can you be more aligned? Because the more aligned you are, the more you will radiate at your most magnetic frequency. And that is really what my work is here to help you do. It's to increase your frequency, and to do that by being in your inner radiance so that you amplify that out into the world and people are very drawn into you, your work. You then start to thrive because it's this beautiful vortex. Okay? So we're going to start this conversation with the projector type because it's so top of mind. Oh, before I do that, I do want to let you know that this morning, having had this thought bubble while I was walking on the beach, I decided to check the transits to see how the background frequency is working with my frequency right now, based on this conversation or this topic and the fact that it flowed through me. And so I went and checked it out, and you can't make this stuff up. Right now, even though I personally have definition in only 2 centers, my G center and my sacral, right now with the transits as they are, I have every single center except the will center lit up. Now, why that is important to me is that my thoughts, my processing powers, so my head center, my ajna, and my throat center, which are usually not defined, are all now defined. Also, my spleen is defined. So my center where intuition is really strong is defined. So all of these things when we're like, yes, of course, that is why this felt so timely and potent. I have the benefit of what is happening in the planets to support me in bringing this to you right now. Okay, so let's talk about being a projector. When you are in alignment, you feel successful, but it's not like everybody else's measure of success. This is based on what makes you personally feel successful. What is it that needs to happen for you to expand into success in your frequency? Now, the opposite, the out of alignment feeling, is bitterness. It's thinking that potentially it's easier for everybody else. Maybe it brings out some competition in you, or just flatness because it just doesn't work for you and you have to wait for things. You have to wait for invitations. How frustrating. So how do you actually know that you're on the right path, and how do you do more of that? So here goes. It came to me that you need to better understand what success feels like and create for yourself a list of all of the things that you can actually feel into that bring you that feeling. Now, the more things that represent success to you, and it could be simple things like if I go to the gym in the morning, then I feel like I started my day successfully. So make a list of all the things that create feelings of success in you, okay? Now, what I want you to do is, instead of just doing them and not being aware of that feeling so much, so maybe it's in your unconscious, like it's there, but it's a low frequency, not a negative frequency, just the volume's down. And instead, I want you to be very aware and intentional with creating these expansive, highly successful feelings in yourself. Because what you're going to find happens is when you are in this energy, that invitations start coming to you. Okay. So you're going to show up differently. You're going to feel differently. On the other hand, if you're looking outside of yourself and wondering why, for instance, it's easier for others, it's going to pull your frequency down. You won't get invitations. You won't feel like things happen easily for you. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to trip the system. We want to trip the system so that you're so tuned in to feelings of success, doing things that you know will give you that hit almost, and being hyper aware. We want a vortex of your own making that is like success leading to invitations, invitations leading to opportunities to share your guidance, the guidance attracting more people into your world because you're so freaking powerful. Your wisdom is off the charts. The more you do this, the more you stay in this vortex and you detach and quieten down the non-alignment, the more you're going to grow. I have absolute confidence in this working for you, and I want you to really anchor this in. So after this episode, take some time out to go and sit with your journal or the notes section of your phone, whatever works for you, and start to list it out. Now, it can be, like I said, as simple as long as I exercise in the morning, that's a big tick for me. Or it could be, I love being selected for awards or being a finalist. Like all of these things are going to be unique to you. It could be, I like when my money is going up. Like every time I see that my bank balance is higher, I feel really successful. And I want you to intentionally make more of these things happen. So you know you have control. Everything that happens in your external world begins and ends with you. Like you are choosing in every moment what you're creating. You can choose to create more success for yourself, to take more of these opportunities, to beautifully amplify success in your system. And when you do that, opportunities, and it's going to spin you into quantum growth. This is the conversation I had yesterday that I really wanted to bring to you. That's it for projectors. Now I'm going to move on to, let's choose manifestors. Okay, so for alignment for you, being out of alignment, you get angry. Being in alignment, you strive for feelings of peace. Reflecting on this, there is more to this alignment secret, especially when I think about business owners and marketers that are manifestors. So how can we get you into an energy that is going to be highly magnetic when also you're known to have a more cold aura? Okay, so this is an interesting one, and it's going to be cool to see what comes through me. The first thing I'd say is that I'm not sure that peace is the right word. What I mean by that is you definitely in when you're out of alignment have a tendency for anger. And it's not just frustration, it's like angry. Things keep going wrong. Why is this happening to me? And your in alignment is like calmness. It's certainty. It's power, right? So the word is peace in human design, but I want to allow you to invite in energies of calmness, certainty, and power as descriptors of peace. Or you do this exercise. You think to yourself, okay, how do I represent peace for myself in business and in marketing? And part of this is everything's working, everything's going right. I'm confident, I'm more relaxed. Yes. Those might be words you choose as well. But don't forget that it is your power, it is your activation of others and initiating others into change, into bigness, into innovative new territory that you're here to bring to the world. And so I think it's really hard to label all of that, which is what you're here to do, as peace. Okay. And I am right now giving you permission to redefine peace. I mean, own peace, love peace, but redefine peace so that you can do a bit of the projector exercise to better understand what brings those feelings that are important for you that sit under peace. Okay. So whatever those words are for you, whether it's certainty, whether it's confidence, whether it's permission, whether it's activation, whether it's relaxation, what words sit under peace for you that you can really start to look at and define what are the actions and what awareness do I need to have more of those in my everyday? More of those in my everyday, more attention on those things, less on things going wrong, things are making me angry, is going to put you into the right energy to activate others in a really positive, powerful way that draws them into your world, that gives you those opportunities that you seek to make the impact that you're here to make. Okay. So your vortex, let's call it the manifestor vortex, is going to come from better defining what alignment feels for you when it comes to success in business and marketing, doing more of those things, remembering, oh my God, I had this conversation, I'm just going to talk to you about it briefly, when I was in Tasmania recently for Emma Dunwoody's birthday, about, I might have spoken to this last week, but I'm going to do it again, about how when we're constantly referring backwards, and she was saying that I do this, and telling the stories of our past, we're almost giving too much attention to history and making it keep repeating itself versus putting our attention on what we really want in the future and making that our new reality. And the conversation we had is, Yvette, you constantly refer back, but you don't talk about what you want or put your attention into that more creative side of you. Now, I think this is really important for manifestors. And no, I'm not a manifestor, but I have a client who's one who I shared this with this week, which has got me thinking it's important for you to hear this as well. Stop going over and over again the things that are broken or the people that make you angry, or looking at the reasons that it's happened this way. Stop going around and around and around. That's keeping you in low frequency. and continually lean into your creativity, your power for initiation. And when you do that, that's when you're going to have the massive breakthroughs that lead to the quantum shifts in your business and in the way that you attract others in your business, in your life. Like this is the aligned magical space for you. All right. Let's talk to reflectors. Okay, so a reflector that is out of alignment feels disappointment, and that is in alignment is surprised. It's very difficult to cultivate being surprised all the time, so let's call it delighted. Surprise and delight. I love that kind of expression. And so tuning in to a reflector who, again, look, I think reflectors, the ones that I have worked with, are very conscious that their energy for doing things is hit and miss. It's like sometimes they're on fire, maybe the transits are in a great position, maybe they're around the right people, maybe they happen to have a lot of activated gates in some more motor focused centers, whatever the case, there is energy there, but there is less of a sometimes I have energy for something. Sometimes I don't. And I guess that can lead to disappointment, missing out, not taking advantage of opportunities because of that kind of moon-based roller coaster. So the place we want to be playing is this surprise delight. So setting the base, this is what's coming through me, setting the base as my normal as a reflector is that I am such a lunar being. I am so in tune with others and with the transits that you never know what you're going to get. I never know what I'm going to get. Every day is going to be different. I can't forecast. And that is such a surprise and delight for me as a human that I'm just going to show up in the energy of the day and I'm going to tune into that energy and be the self that helps others in that energy. Like you're really here to reflect back to others their bigness, their next step, their environments that are going to help them. You see people, you're so perceptive. But I think that if you're feeling in that lower frequency of disappointment, that you're not going to be able to do that so effectively. And all that it takes for you to thrive and skyrocket, because you are this unique, special snowflake that has all the potential, is to stop being disappointed by being any like, or not, you know what? Here's the word I'm going to say. Stop having expectations. Stop having expectations. Don't expect to feel a certain way ever. Don't expect results. Know that your life is here like a magical mystery tour, and that is super fun, and you get to be a participant in a beautiful dance with the universe that is surprising and delightful, and that helps others as you do that, that feels the energy, the beautiful frequencies that are happening around you, and shows up and shines your magical light on others. The more you do this, the more aligned and successful you're going to feel. Absolutely. You also know, right, that you don't want to build a business or a marketing plan that depends on you needing to be on all the time. That is like anti reflector. And you know, I have a lot of reflector tendencies. My conscious side of my chart is a reflector. I have all the openness. I'm speaking to you because I feel you. And when I have expectations, it ruins me. Like if I think this launch is going to be massive, I'm going to show up and it's going to go so well, the disappointment is crushing if that doesn't happen. And it's actually what's led me to having this evergreen business model. Wow, I didn't know this conversation would go here, but we're going to keep going with it. It's what has led me to, I can't put myself into high expectations because I never know what I'm going to get. I never know what my energy is going to feel like on a day-to-day basis. I know that I'm going to spin and I'm going to feel everything that's going on around me. And I need a more evergreen model so that I have this more beautiful level nervous system, regulated nervous system, and that I have a more predictable way of doing business now, which is what I've created with my model where I have a lot of low ticket, I have ads running, I have funnels. I don't literally have to be on in my business every day to be abundant. Gosh, this month has been my biggest financial month of my business to date financially. I'm sitting at well over $50,000. And I was offline for 2 full weeks. Okay. So, my reflector friends, listen to me. Listen to me. This is a beautiful business model for you to consider. Now, I know everybody else listening is like, I want to know more about that. And yeah, maybe I'll teach on that more at some point. But for my reflector friends, I want you lowering your expectations and leaning into the delight and the surprise of you never know what you're going to get, and finding ways to work where it's a little bit more predictable, regulates your nervous system and allows you to be tuned into the other. Because when you do that, oh my God, the magnetism is off the charts. It fully works. I know I'm not a full reflector, but I am somebody that has walked this walk and can, with absolute conviction, tell you that this is for you. Okay. I'm going to do generators and manifesting generators as one, but then I'm going to give some Manny Gen love at the end. Okay. All right. Just tuning in because, as I said, I did think about some of the other types a little bit, but I did not think about these ones because I am a generator. I live and breathe this. I'm surrounded by Manny Gens. Okay. So alignment for a sacral being is feeling satisfied, like they've done their job really well, or a job well done at the end of the day. Also, even though it's not actually what's written as alignment, it's feeling lit up. Okay, so that if your energy is like sacral and yes and big and oh my God, this is for me. I'm amplifying my radiance and my energy versus feeling drained, which may be called frustrated, then you are going to attract others. Like the sacral energy is magnetic, full stop. If you have a defined sacral, you are inherently magnetic. Even if you don't believe it, you are magnetic. You're just not in alignment yet. So for you, you need to be in the doing, my friend. You actually need to work with things like targets and to-do lists and have, like, you need to do the work. Work makes you feel good. I'm addicted to my work, like, honestly. Work is brilliant for you, but the work has to be so satisfying and meaningful. Like, if the work does not light you up, then you're going to spiral quickly into frustration. And anytime you hang out there, then you're stuck in frustration. So if you're like, oh my God, I can't attract clients. I'm trying all the things. I should feel satisfied because my work's good quality, but it's not working. Then you end up in frustration and you are going to just feed on that frustration. So instead, this is my biggest advice for you. Instead of fearing that things aren't going to work and getting stuck in that low frequency, everything will work. You just need to figure out how. Okay. So I had this fear and low frequency showing up around my amazing France retreat because I've never run an international retreat before. It's on the other side of the world and it was all booked in. I'd done the sales page and everything. Then I had what's happened in my personal life going on. And then I just went into almost paralysis of what if it doesn't work? What if nobody signs up? And that was a moment for me when I had to self-coach to move from what if it doesn't work to how am I going to make this work? How am I going to attract the most incredible humans into this retreat? How? And that's what I've done. I've already got 2 women signed up. I'm in conversations with more. This thing's going to sell out. Like, I now know for sure it's going to sell out. So see how my frequency has gone from fear, scarcity, frustration, and I've unlocked the how, made it about doing the right things to satisfy me, and my magnetism has expanded as a result of this. This is a clue for you for how you can navigate yourself out of any low frequency generator style energy. Now, you're always going to be in response, right? Like, we're always going to be on a day-to-day basis, responding to what's happening around us. The more you're doing that, the better. But the work is important. The work for a generator, like doing work that you're proud of, that satisfies you, that is what helps you attract clients and opportunities and fire up your magnetism like nothing else. I'm sure you're relating to this. Like if I sit down in the morning or and I do this frequently and I feel a bit overwhelmed, maybe I've got a lot of big goals and I don't know the how yet, and then I break it down and then I work through those things and I get to the end of the day and I've ticked all the things off my list, you can bet I feel amazing. I feel so like proud of myself, got it done, things are working, things are happening. And that trips the cycle into the success vortex of a generator. Because the more I feel like that, the more inspired I am, the better my content is, the more I get into conversations and show up here on the podcast in this high frequency, which I'm clearly in right now, because everything's working because I'm working it. So this is my invitation to you as a sacral being. It's do work that satisfies you. Do it a lot. Allow yourself to feel that satisfaction. And instead of what does satisfaction feel like for you, know that satisfaction feels like you've done a job really well. And that the more that you can be not working harder, working smarter, putting your attention on the right things that are going to really move the dial in your business, in your marketing, doing those things with intention because you know they're going to move you to where you're desiring to go. The more you do that routinely, day in, day out, consistency compounds, you're going to get exactly what you want. But part of the reason is not that you're doing the work. It's because when you're doing the work, you're getting more and more aligned. The more aligned you are, the more satisfied you are, the more magnetic you are. And again, it's like this beautiful cycle. Now, the frustration will show up on occasion, but remember, the frustration is I've stuffed this up. I haven't worked hard enough. I haven't taken the right steps. And if you keep going over and over that, a bit like what I was just talking about with the manifestor, you'll stay frustrated. So it's how can I get out of this? How? What do I need to do now to have the success that I dream of? And you're going to feel your retreat in France too. Okay. That's what's happening for you, my generator friend. Now, Manny Gens, same, all of that, all of that. The other thing I would say to you is stop trying to fit yourself in a box. That is going to feel so frustrating for you, and allow your bigness. Like you need, I always say this for everybody, but especially for a Manny Gen, instead of trying to put yourself in a box and a niche, you need to be famous for the thing that you do. Now, the thing you do can be combine 3 separate niches. I don't know what that is for you, but you need a level of fame. If you focus on that level of fame rather than all of the separate, potentially different parts of your businesses, or try to cut things out, you're just going to get off track. You're not going to feel magnetic. Like anti-magnetic for you or anti-satisfaction is being boxed in. As much as it's frustrating, it's being too small. We want you, we need you big. We need you in your creative urges. We need you activating the manifestor part of your Manny Gen, and doing that in a way that expands you, makes you famous for the thing that you and as a soul came here to transmit to us. That is going to also be a part of what increases your magnetism. So from the place of generated energy, bigness, fame, activating others, that's where you need to play. That's where you're going to start really creating more consistent high frequency and attract more of the opportunities that feed your soul, that continue to bring more of those good feelings. And that is the most magnetic and attractive place for you to be. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. As I said, I knew that I had a lot to say on this topic when I spoke to a client this week. So I just wanted to let myself speak from the soul, but also in a background frequency where I could be eloquent and trust myself to do that. Yay, because usually open head, open ajna, open throat. Can't always trust myself to get the words out. I know they will have landed. I trust they will have landed. If you're thinking about France, oh my goodness, last chance for early bird. If you're listening to this in real time, the last chance is the 31st, which is the 31st of March, I should say, 2025, which is Monday. It's in 3 sleeps, but I'm going to make it Monday, the 31st of the 3rd, Pacific Standard Time, midnight. So it's actually Tuesday for those of us in the Southern Hemisphere in Australia and New Zealand, Asia, maybe. But it is midnight, the 31st of the 3rd, Monday for PST, and work that out depending on where you live. If you have questions about the retreat, if you want to know if it's right for you, if you want to better understand how the payment plans work, I have a video on Instagram explaining it, or just jump into my DM anytime and I will be excitingly waiting to hear from you. We are going to have the most magical time. I just keep picturing us like it's this incredibly historic sandstone building with a huge lawn, colourful recliner chairs, small tables, a long table for big meals together where we'll be able to eat. It's going to be daylight till 9 o'clock at night. We'll be able to eat outdoors, have chefs coming in. It is going to be spectacular. Not to mention that we're going to take a day trip into Paris and experience Montmartre together and go to a fabulous gourmet restaurant. I have got a very epic, both luxe and activating strategic business-oriented experience lined up. It will definitely unleash your next level. So come join us. DM me, as I said, if you are wanting more info or you have questions, and I can't wait to hear from you. Other than that, I thank you for listening this week, and I look forward to being back in your ears real soon. Bye for now. There are heaps more resources in the show notes. I can't wait to be back in your ears again soon. Bye for now.